Good afternoon, respected members of the jury. Today I'll be presenting my thesis, which is Sports Hub at Gaza, which I have named it as Bagdi Gaza. Sports has a worldwide impact on different aspects of life like entertainment and health. The lack of infrastructure in countries like India has in turn turned its turfs into a graveyard for talent. The infrastructure prevalent in India is an opportunity for reaping capital and then turning into a liability in terms of management and maintenance. This has stayed this way for years, but it wasn't the case a while back. Over the years, there has been a major makeover in the structure of the stadium, socially, economically, and politically. It all started in Greece, where a stadium was a simple piece of land with just the purpose of health and competition in the community. Sometime from then, Rome brought in something known as a colosseum, wherein a political influence crept into the present communal structure and had a greater role to play. As we go down the years, the stadium takes its shape as a political and economical structure and thereby overpowering the communal instinct and making it a piece of infrastructure that could earn a lot of capital for a single individual or government rather than benefiting the whole community. What began as a simple structure would then change into a complex structure involving a lot of technology and techniques. These would include sustainable strategies that are important to creating structures that are energy efficient and economical throughout the building's life cycle. Sports hubs could in many a way act as a catalyst for urban regeneration of a city. Stadiums of tomorrow could be a concept which involves more social involvement and giving less regard to the economical aspects. Stadium that lives more than sports, which would mean integration with the social infrastructure. Taking into account the present proposals for sports cities, the Amaravati city has been a welcome one. As and when Amaravati is declared the capital of Andhra Pradesh, there will be a sudden surge of development in the capital area, which includes dividing the city into 9 different zones, of which a sports city is one. The proposal has been rearranged by taking into consideration the present location of the site, which is near the Krishna River. The Krishna River is home to thousands of farmers, and such a proposal would mean loss of land and income for a lot of people. The banks of the river are rich in agricultural land, which means the installation of huge infrastructure would result in improper usage of the land. The current proposal has two phases, of which a culmination of services that would mean development in a regional perspective is taken into consideration. This would include a medium-sized stadium, a community park, different sports association offices, and a training academy. Since the site of the proposal is not feasible, taking into account the social impact, it is thereby important to find a new and feasible location for the project. Andhra Pradesh is a state wherein Vijayawada, Guntur, Amravati, and Tenali are three main cities that form a quadrant. Kasa lies in the center of the NH between Vijayawada and Guntur. It remains as a center for development that could immediately trigger the urban scenario of Andhra Pradesh and help in producing a new urban dynamic by the showcase of the identity of the territory. A sports hub should be able to cultivate shared values between sports and sustainability. Gaza as a town is accessible via road by the N16 that links Guntur and Vijayawada. The site taken is a piece of land that is unused and away from any human involvement. The site area is 60 acres and is very close to the NH. Many sports-related institutions are found in and around the town, including the Amaravati Cricket Association Stadium. These are just patches of land that are dedicated as a ground for institutions that surround the area. The whole site is surrounded by wide roads that are accessible from all sides. There is a patch of land just in front of the site which is reserved for commercial development. The people here are mainly a majority of old and young people. Three main case studies were brought into the whole dynamic based on the usage of the stadium and its popularity. The first one being the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi. It is a major sporting institute in India capable of hosting major events. The stadium is open to public and has a very diverse structure to it. Most parts of the stadium is abandoned throughout the year. and the outer parks and plazas are rented out for public engagements. Parking is provided throughout the site and is completely abandoned throughout the year if there are no sporting events happening. The next stadium is the DY Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai. This is a privately owned stadium and is completely restricted to the public. Stadium on its own is a landmark with its enormous structures. Usually they host 10 to 12 events per year, and the rest of the year the whole stadium stays idle. The whole stadium is built solely for the purpose of sports and concert. And since it is a private stadium, rental services are provided and common public has no access inside. The next stadium which has been taken into consideration is the Sangapore Sports Hub, which is one of the most economically stable and sustainable stadiums in the world. The whole stadium is ecologically very balanced and it acts as a park, which is open to public and brings the community inside the stadium, which makes it very active. There's something known as a social plinth, which creates almost 2 kilometers of human scale built form and landscape. As a counterpoint to the monumental scale of the stadium, the plinth injects life and vibrancy between the various facilities and even plazas across the precinct. The sports hub integrates landscape, water systems, and planting extensively, creating a natural setting and high quality public waterfront environment. Taking these three stadiums into consideration, we have a set of inferences that need to be looked into. First being the position of the stadium. The stadium needs to be oriented in a specific way as mentioned. As we come to the zoning and planning, all the three stadiums are zoned directly in the middle of the site so as to allow better public access. The spaces need to be community specific according to the site at CASA. Adequate public spaces need to be provided so as to keep the stadium active and live. Parking needs to be provided in the form of car parks or basement parking in a sustainable or in a way that the parking can be used throughout the year. The sports hub need not always be a landmark. It can be spaces that adapt to the site and can be given a function. Likewise, spaces below the galleries could be utilized and made into functional spaces. These are void in all the three case studies. So you come to the spatial organization. The central organization is mainly utilized more as it caters to the public a lot easier than if it was a linear organization. Open spaces. Uniform distribution of open and built spaces are required so as to create multifunctional spaces inside the site. Increasing the number of entry points in the site so that the incoming public is controlled and also make entry points based on the usage groups in the whole site is a major part in designing the circulation of the whole stadium. The roofing structure is different for different stadiums. The roofing structure mainly consists of a structure that is aesthetically very beautiful and serves possibly a function as a shade for the gallery. The landscape is a major part in all stadiums. Landscaping is just not there for the aesthetics but can also add function to the site. A comparative analysis of the areas that have been specified in each of the stadiums that have been taken as a case study could be put hand in hand with the standard values of each of the spaces, and a normalized value could be added that could be used in the proposal. Park D Casa is an ode to social infrastructure that may be a new beginning for the entire city of Amravati. The design revolves around the three main principles in a sports hub: society, economics, and politics. The park is or rather the sports hub is a culmination of three main spaces that are overlapped and hence function together in harmony. The spaces include a park, a stadium, and a training complex in which all the three principles can be seen to exist mutually. Sustainability plays a major role in reforming the whole design, not only because of the materials used and the energy efficient technology that are projected throughout, but also the involvement of the local communities to a greater extent. The park along with the stadium coexist so as to provide employment, entertainment, and energy to the local community. The stadium is multifunctional and can provide for the community in a number of ways. One of which is a market that provides employment and makes another niche for the society to engage in healthy involvements for the community. The zoning consists of mainly three main spaces: the stadium, the park, and the training complex. The subsets that are formed by the overlapping of the stadium, the park, and the training complex can be used to break the monotony of the whole site. The stadium is centrally located as we conferred from the above case studies. The park is laid out throughout the throughout the site to increase accessibility to the public. Since the park is laid out throughout the site, it extends over the roof of the stadium and different slopes or different access points are provided. The slopes are included with openings that allow the light and ventilation to be carried out easily. The top of the stadium is a green roof that supports intensive farming and also easy movement of water for drainage. The spaces beneath the roof are used as market spaces to sell the produce of the harvest from the local community and the park throughout the year. A very strong and resilient structure is required for the implementation of a green roof into the design. Concrete shell with ample support in the form of columns and beams are provided. Values for draining water to different storage facilities. Difference in height at different points for functionality for user experience. Large openings is permeable material usage to incorporate maximum light and ventilation. Slopes for entry into the top of the roofs. A training academy with a green roof utilized for cultivation and user movement. Openings that are provided for light and ventilation. A market area that is used for economic development for the community. Landscape slopes for water catchment and crop production. The site is generally divided into three main parts. One is a park which is extended throughout the site. The next is a stadium which is located in the center of the site, and the next is a training complex which is um, combined to the stadium with the help of two bridges. The other features of the some other features of the site can be divided into three based on economy, entertainment, and energy. The energy is dependent on the grid, which is formed by the sustainable car parks and the solar panels, along with the helical turbines, which connect to a power plant, which then takes in the energy and supplies it to the whole ground floor is divided into three major portions, one being the aquatic center, the second being the space for the spectators, and the third one being the space that is dedicated to the players, the VIPs, and the media. The space that is there for the players is exclusive, and it is for the trained exclusive players. The media can access the access the stadium from these two access points, and the players can enter the stadium via the training ground when there is a match happening. This whole portion is closed and is air conditioned for maximum security for the players that come in, and also for the VIPs. The service core is provided at this portion of the site to ensure different services like electricity pumping, HVAC to different portions of the whole stadium. Media rooms are actually located near to the stadium for view of the match, and also for the press conferences that can be located over here. The media rooms are flexible and are used as side offices when there is a game not happening. The other spaces include a guide lab, a dorm, a hydro lab, and a gym that is there exclusively for the elite players. Coming down to the training complex, which is connected to the whole stadium with the help of a training ground, which acts as a transition space into the stadium. This is the access point into the stadium for the players, whereas the VIPs could enter through these two areas as just like the media do. The training complex is situated next to the, as you can see, it is situated just next to the axis of the site, and the elite players and the academy players can enter into this training complex. And when there are no matches happening, as in for the training graduates or for the players, they can hang out in this portion of the area, which has a cafe and an indoor games room. And there are other facilities which are there to lower limit, which include a guide lab and a gym. Coming to the aquatic center, the aquatic center is just not an aquatic center. It has a it takes advantage of the height that is given to the whole stadium with the help of with the introduction of diving boards, as well as the introduction of different indoor sports rooms like a basketball court and different shuttle courts. As far as educating the community is concerned, there are training centers for which have computer centers that are attached uh, adjacent to the conference rooms or the tutor centers. The first floor consists of a seen below area that is there for the aquatic center, which is at a triple height from the normal stadium floor plan. And the second portion consists of the stadium galleries, which are there for spectators, and the sky boxes that are there for the VIPs and corporates. The third portion consists of a linked community and media box, a media box that is flexible and can be used as a SI office when not in use. The seating is provided in the corners of the stadium floor plan, so that people can use it while there is a half time. And there are shops that are present at this and this at these two corners of the site of the stadium, so as to provide food for the people when they come into the central portion is dedicated for the media, so that they can have a clearer view of this view of the stadium and have their commentary boxes exclusively for them. And the community can also make use of the lounges and the cafes that are present over here to their maximum usage. The stadium section, from the stadium section, it is clear that the section is divided into three major portions. One is the aquatic center, the main ground, and the training center when it is cut down longitudinally. The aquatic center is at a triple height than the normal floor height. This is to support the diving boards and also for the indoor gaming facilities that are present over here. The maximum height attained by the roof of the stadium is 26 meters and the minimum is 20 meters, so as to support the drainage from the top of the roof. The roof structure is supported by a truss system where there are no columns to be supported. The training center is connected to the stadium via the help of a bridge that is there from the top of the roof. As we come into the cross-sectional section, it is seen that the market area is a hollowed out structure which has a small kind of landfill. This landfill is actually taken off from the portion from which the ground has been dug out, so as to keep it at a lesser temperature for the players. This is a whole aquatic center which consists of three major tanks, which include the diving pool, the aquatic pool, and the children's pool. All the three pools are used by professionals as well as community when they are not in use. The whole space is covered by a shield that is a permeable shield that shows you what is happening in the indoor games area. The third floor consists of the as we had mentioned in the second floor plan itself. It consists of the same seen below area, and then comes the spectator area with a greater number of galleries, gallery rakings. And as we come into the south portion, it is seen that there are a lot many panels that are present. These panels are there for exhibition space. Therefore, exhibition spaces that can be conducted for the community by the community, so as to produce a source of income. And elsewise, this can be turned into a auditorium and not in use, as these panels are retractable and a greater space can be attained by retracting these panels. These spaces also have food courts that provide food for the spectators when they are in for a match. As explained earlier, the section is divided into three: the market, the park, and the exhibition space. The market, the park that is located above the stadium is at different heights for the drain flow as well as for an ecstatic experience. And the entry to the aquatic stadium is just like the entry to the market, which can be accessed by both the people and the professionals. This is the whole stadium view from the stands when a match would be going on in the stadium. The overall site circulation consists of three major portions. One is the circulation for the people of the community. One would be for the spectators. The second one would be for the media, and the third one would be for the elite players. The overall movement of the public so as to facilitate more access points and also to provide easier parking. The parking facilities are also provided throughout the site so that people can easily use it out. This is the circulation for each of the floor plans. The first floor plan not is extensively used by all the users. The second floor plan is restricted to the elite players, and it is there just for the media and the spectators. And the second floor plan is just there for the spectators and also for the people who are there to conduct an exhibition or so on. The roof circulation, it is mainly there for the community, and the pathways are used during normal days, where people can use it as a jogging track, and they can maintain their health routine throughout. And the blue line suggests the circulation for the people who are cultivating crops, and the produce can be harvested and then put in for post production, and before they are sold to the markets, they can be kept in an area that is just behind the market, which is over here. This is the axonometric exploded view of the whole stadium. The stadium structure is a shell structure that is supported by different structural supports, which include beams and columns. This is the stadium section that consists of an isometric view to give you a better idea of what is happening in above and below the roof of the stadium. This portion of the roof is a penetration to allow light and ventilation into the whole site. This is another section from the substitutes bench. This is the whole part sections of the whole site. Here comes the market. The market area is defined by a terrace accessible green roof, and an open air market will serve as both an important hub in Qatar's supply chain and a destination for meeting and socializing and taking views of the surrounding landscape. There are vendor modules on this portion of the site, and then there are production areas in this post-production areas of the harvested crop in this portion. There is a merchandise store which acts as ticketing booths when there is a match going on. The modules that are used in the market are completely customized so that the people who are coming in can have a safer place to store their products and for selling their daily produce. This is the view of the market. As you can see, the market consists of modules and different partitions that allow the people to sell different products, like the fish that are cultivated from the pisciculture pond, and the vegetables that are produced from the crop production area from the roof and other parts of the site. The green roof that needs to be utilized over here has to be used not just for the cooling or the protection for the insides of the stadium, but also for the cultivation of different crops for the economy of the whole community. There are different small root trees in Andhra that can facilitate roots that grow beneath the surface of the soil at minimum height of 1 meters, with clear goals responding to the needs of the site, its surrounds, and the inhabitants of Kaza. The three original actions correspond to the three values which guide the design: sociability, quality, and discovery. The principles of landscaping that have been implemented over here One of the key principles used in designing the landscape is clustering and juxtaposition of varied circulation typologies, which organizes and optimizes the position of the program and the pedestrian flows within and atop the building. The volumetric articulation of the building welcomes the user and invites the exploration of the various spaces and the services, with the structure touching the ground at both ends of the pier and thereby allowing the direct access to the rooftop park and recreational areas. The key idea is to develop an ideal model of giving the public rather than taking from the public through such high budget, large scale projects. The next portion of the site includes sustainable portions that include sustainable car parks, which are made of, which are a pavilion that can be used as a car park throughout the football season. During the football season, the cars can be used for parking, and the pavilions give them shade. And above the pavilions, there are solar panels, which are a major part of the grid for producing energy. And during the non-football season, can be the whole site of the car parks can be used for generation of crops and the harvest of crops for income generation, and the indoor court which is artificially lit so it can facilitate the growth of crops as well, which are produced by urban farming. The roof is divided into segments as we had said earlier, and this, based on the material study, how we plan and design this new construction will determine whether climate change is manageable or catastrophic. This material study is focused on lowering carbon impact emissions. Concrete is widely used in the construction of the uh, whole site. It is responsible to 6 to 10% of the global anthropogenic carbon dioxide emissions. This can be effectively decreased by following sustainable design guidelines for material optimization and efficiency. In the same way, emissions for steel, wood, floor, and wall finishes, insulation, etc., can be reduced by following these guidelines that have been given in the present sheet. Four different services are provided, which include the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, and also the grey water. The toilets are provided. The service core is provided in the central portion of the third part of the stadium, which is explained earlier, which consists of the electrical room and the mechanical room. These supply the whole HVAC and electrical panels throughout the stadium. The urban vertical farming could be seen in throughout the corridors and other major walls that are kept unoccupied. The swimming pool and the rainwater harvesting tank go hand in hand as they complement each other. And the air vent for the toilets are taken up to the exhibition space and then removed through the openings that are present on the sides of the stadium.